wanted to have a look at the lure, and I picked it up over a rock, and out it came.
You watched him eat it, did you?
Yeah. Get a gander at that.
Beautiful fish. Lovely blue spot. They're beefy, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really good condition.
G'day, Starlo here. There he is. Oh, he's not a big one. But as most of you know, I love my flathead fishing. In my neck of the woods, I mostly chase the dusky flathead. Might not be too big to be an eater, that one. How big is it, roughly? Perfect eating size, 55. I'll take that one home for dinner. I love catching them and eating them, although we always let the big breeding females go. And they can get pretty big too. Well done. Very occasionally topping a metre in length. Although anything over 75 centimetres is a beauty. We mostly tag those before releasing them. Duskies are the biggest member of the flathead clan, but they're far from being the only member. There are more than 30 varieties of flathead, and down south, beyond the range of the dusky, a couple of others take over as the most likely soft lure targets. The two most notable of these are commonly referred to as the southern sand flathead and the southern blue spot or yank flathead. They're both quite common in Victoria, Tasmania and South Australia, with the blue spot extending well into Western Australian waters. It can be a bit hard to separate these various flathead, but fortunately Fisheries Tasmania have produced this terrific ID chart. It's well worth checking out. Sandies and blue spots are both inshore fish, often found in shallow bays and estuaries, and they're both very catchable on soft plastics, using exactly the same techniques and tackle that work so well on the duskies of my home waters. Sandies don't grow all that big. Anything over 40 centimetres is a pretty good fish. Sadly, in Tasmania, stocks of sand flathead have been really hammered, and both their numbers and average sizes have declined dramatically in recent years, forcing the authorities to adopt a much stricter size slot and bag limit. Hopefully, they'll bounce back. Make sure you're aware of the regulations. On the other hand, blue spots or yanks can grow to very impressive dimensions, possibly up to 90 centimetres or even more. Blue spots over 60 centimetres are far from rare in many areas, especially around northern Tasmania and in South Australia, although there's some crackers in Victoria too. Joe and I were recently lucky enough to enjoy some great fishing for both flathead species in northern Tasmania, although to be honest, they started out as bycatch. I was actually really keen to pin a King George whiting on a soft plastic, which is why I'd strung my squidgy wriggler on one of these nifty stinger rig jig heads. I pitched it out and bounced it along the bottom with the current over some broken reef and sand, and sure enough. Oh, yes, yes. Could it be? I'm not convinced it's a whiting. Rolling along the edge is probably a good way to catch a blue throat. No, it's a flathead. Oh, yeah, he's all right. I came all this way to catch a flathead on soft plastic. I know that works. I want a whiting. Oh well. Not a bad consolation prize though. Yeah, they're blue spots. Nice. They weren't all blue spots either. My next hookup was a different species. Yeah, it's a good flatty. Hey too. Just bouncing it along. Now that one looks like a sand flathead. That's a good sand flathead. Yep, it is. Able to get a shot of the two of them together there. Both in the keeper slot for Tassie too. We went on to catch a bunch more flatties, and eventually we moved into some really shallow water to chase them over the tidal flats, exactly the way we target our duskies back home, and boy did it work. The trick was to cast plastics right up into the shallow edges before hopping them back out. And do they whack 'em?
With my PB blue spot. Hasn't even come off the bottom yet. They're pretty lively.
I must say, blue spots in particular are great fighters. Definitely stronger gram for gram than our duskies. Heavier for the same length too.
Oh no, it's not as big as I thought he was. But he's alright. Oh, they swallow it. I will bring him this side so we don't blow over him.
Oh, he's lovely. Look at the colour.
Solid, isn't he?
Yeah, they're good. He didn't like that. Nah. Come on, mate. He's great. Oh,
They're beefy, aren't they?
yeah, they're really good condition. Oh, what a lovely fish.
Lovely blue spot.
Yeah, you can tell that one is.
We went on to catch a bunch more of these southern flatties,
Yes.
keeping a couple within the designated size limits to eat.
Oh, nice fish.
And of course,
I didn't really
Okay.
polarise
they were
the sun.
delicious,
He's hugging the bottom.
like all
See
flathead.
his dust.
We used exactly the same soft plastic presentations as we do on duskies and fished in similar areas, although I
Lovely.
must say that the blue spots in particular seem to like hanging around a bit of structure, such as rocks, oyster racks and weed patches. The bycatch was interesting too.
Look at that. Slippery little sucker. That's got him.
Nice, thank you. Short-finned sea pike or snook. And actually, surprisingly good to eat. No, that's squidgy. We get a lot bigger than that.
I certainly won't be ignoring the southern flathead clan next time I venture down that way. They're great fun to catch, brilliant to eat, and widely available. And they love exactly the same lures and techniques as my homegrown duskies. What's not to like? Until next time, this is Starlo, wishing you tight lines.